Okay, so today our guest speakers, we have students that are UC Santa Barbara graduates, Mount St. Mary graduates. We have students that have been through the community college route, either at Harbor or El Camino, and are now at Long Beach. And then I see Fullerton, but I don't think any of our guest speakers went to Fullerton. So I'm just gonna wait to see if our other case manager is in this room. Not yet. Okay. Sorry, give me a quick second. Okay, so like mentioned, oh, I don't think I introduced myself. So for the students that are here and our guest speakers, my name is Ingrid Gurola. I'm the lead case manager at the Wilmington site, and I am the liaison at Fremont High School. With me is Catherine, which is one of our case managers here at the Wilmington site, sorry, and Caesar, which is one of the case managers at the port. And Caesar, if you want to kick it off, you have the mic.
All right, hello, welcome everyone. Well, first of all, can you guys hear me loud and clear? Okay, hello, welcome everyone. Again, today's workshop will be about how I survived college. We're gonna do a little bit different today. We are gonna have 4 guest speakers. They will be talking about their college experiences and pretty much how they tackled college, how they overcame stressful situations, and pretty much all that. So first of all, we're gonna have Mr. Jose Fernandez. He is a Boys and Girls Club alumni who attended Los Angeles Harbor College. He did a transfer and he is currently attending CSULB, which is Cal State University of Long Beach. Our other presenter will be Bruno Tovar Soto, which is another Boys and Girls Club alumni. He attended El Camino College and he is currently attending CSULB as well. And our 2 female guest speakers will be Yesenia Rubalcaba. She is a first-generation college student. She graduated from Mount St. Mary's University. And lastly, Ms. Yitzel Jimenez, who is a locum first-generation college student as well and graduated from UC Santa Barbara. So I believe Mr. Jose Fernandez is going to go first. So let me give him the floor real quick. Mr. Jose, if you could please present yourself and yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, hi guys, my name's Jose Fernandez. I'm actually also I was a former Boys and Girls Club employee. I worked at the Wilmington site in the game room, so it's fun to be back. Again, my name is Jose Fernandez. I went to Harbor College. I transferred, did my 2 years, and then now I'm currently at Cal State Long Beach. My major is political science, so ever since high school, I've always been into local politics. I've interned with council members. Currently, I work at the Port of Los Angeles in government affairs, so it's all pretty much related, which I'm very blessed and fortunate that I had an aim and eye for politics, and I just always kept to it. So that's like one thing I guess I can give out is if you have your eye to it, just be very determined, and time will tell. And I'm excited to be here. I don't know, is that good? What else? Do I go on specific more or just an introduction? Sorry.
Yeah, so you just pretty much just talking about your college experience,
Oh yeah,
how you
okay,
like
cool.
it and all
My
that
bad.
stuff.
I don't know what I was doing right now. Okay, cool.
Any stressful situations maybe you made encountered, how you overcame
cool.
those and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. So I actually went to San Jose after graduating high school, went to San Jose. I didn't like the school at all. I just wasn't for me. So I was there for like 2 months. I came back home and I went to Harbor College for the following semester and I just did my 2 years there. So that's like a tip on there too. Things never go as planned, or if you feel, I felt like mentally I wasn't ready for that school or it just wasn't my time. And I'm glad that I did that because I don't have any I might have not had the opportunities that I have today. So if you feel like, oh, this is not for me, then go ahead and be for it and always stick to your side and just know that there's always going to be a positive outcome at the end. So I did my Harbor College career. It was my Harbor College experience. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. I was involved. That's one thing I could say is to be involved and to put yourself out there. Even at a community college, I know it could be kind of put down upon, but it's what you make the best out of, and that's what I did. So I'm very blessed that I did that. I did pretty good, and I'm at Cal State Long Beach now, which I love. It's fun, it's open. My experience has been just for me to be on everything, I guess you could say. My time, just have really good time management. Learn how you are as a person. I'm a procrastinator, so I'll do things last minute, but it will get done. Okay, that's just how I am. But make sure you're just on your task, and make sure that you have your mentally you're there as like a cope. For myself, I like to go to the gym just because it releases a lot of my stress, and I'm not, you know, as mentally disturbed, I guess you could say, but just have some peace of mind. Another thing that I've noticed that I've done throughout my years is have like me time. If I need to, I don't know, if it's to get a haircut, or if it's time, just make that time away from school so that you can always be refreshed when you go back, because it can be a lot. School it's not easy. It could be challenging, but you can overcome everything, and they have a lot of like resources for you to do, or for you to attend if you need any help. If you need like at schools you pay for it, that's your tuition, so use advantage for it. And I've done that. I've go see psychiatrists or therapists, and it's nice to also it's okay to not be okay, I guess you could say. So use those resources, right? I mean, it's there, it's given to you. So that's like, I guess, what I could say. Sorry, I don't know if it's right, but yeah, that's me.
All right, cool, cool. And I know I put a fun fact on your slide, but is there anything else you would want to talk about? Any fun facts? Anything exciting about CSULB?
I'm all thinking, what's exciting? Oh, we're back at the school. So that's another thing. It's not on Zoom this semester. We're actually back on campus. So I'm taking 2 classes there, which is nice to have that interaction. Zoom can be a little draining. I'm taking 5 classes as we speak. So it's a lot of, it's a lot going on, but it's nice to be in campus and to see people, and they have like Spirit Week, and to get involved. And it's really nice to just have that interaction, even with the teacher and classmates. You do have to have like there's COVID restrictions, like you have to wear a mask, you have to get screened, which is nice because I feel safe at the school. But it's nice to be back at the campus and just have that college experience. My last year, so woo, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jose Fernandez. Does anybody have any questions for Jose? Anything they'd like to know about the school, his experience, anything like that? I know he mentioned, with a lot of stress, he said he likes getting haircuts. I'm a big person on getting haircuts too. It's my therapy. I love getting haircuts. Everyone has their own little different way on how they diffuse stress. But I really like that one.
No, why are you crying on yourself? I bet you your parents are gonna get mad.
Okay, well. Okay, well, with that one, we're gonna move on to Miss Yesenia Rubalcaba.
Hi. It says Jasmine on the screen, but it's because I'm using my sister's laptop. But I'm Yesenia Rubalcaba. I am a first generation college graduate. I attended Mount St. Mary's University, Los Angeles. It is a private all-girls school. I know what made me think going to an all-girls school. I've always been in public schools, male, female, and then I go straight to an all-girls school, something different. At first, I thought it was going to be a lot of drama, but to be honest, college, university, everyone minds their own business. Everyone's doing their own thing. Everyone goes to class, you find your friends, and it's fun. I am a child development major with a minor in sociology. At the beginning, I actually chose nursing. I got accepted into the school for nursing, but I changed my major after, finding out that science wasn't my best subject. And I was lucky enough to figure that out early on, where I still graduated within my 4 years of being in the university. I changed my major second semester of my first year. And I pursued child development. I've always wanted to help people. It was either the elderly or children, and I love children personally. So I decided to go the route of working with kids, either in the school setting, in a clinical setting. Right now, I am a RBT, a registered behavioral technician, and I work with autistic children on the spectrum, nonverbal, verbal. I also got to study abroad when I was in college. My senior year, my fall semester, right before COVID, actually, it was fall 2019. That was August through December. That was the best thing I've ever done in college. I recommend this to every single person out there. I will never take it back. I literally went by myself. I was the only girl from my school that went to Granada. Other girls went other places like to Barcelona or to Czech Republic or any other, I think Japan as well. And I chose Spain. I speak Spanish, so I decided to go to a country where I spoke the same language, but I wanted to know, I wanted to know their culture because I didn't want to go to Mexico. I always go to Mexico, even though it's a great country, but I wanted to go to Spain. So it was a hard decision because I was going back and forth with leaving, being in a Hispanic household, dads can be very protective. So it was hard on my dad to, in a way, kind of let me go. And I also kind of had to put my foot down where I had to tell him, like, hey, I'm not asking you for permission. Like, I'm letting you know, like, I'm going to go because this is an opportunity that was offered to me from school where school paid for it. They paid my whole tuition, everything was paid for me there, which was amazing. All I had to take was spending money. I got to visit Africa, North Africa, so Morocco, which is like the picture where you can see the where it says Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. I went to a lot of beaches in Spain. I went to Barcelona, Madrid. I stayed in Granada, as I mentioned, I think. I also went to Amsterdam, Italy. It's very cheap to travel once you are abroad. So that's another great thing. Venice, Rome. Oh, it's just so beautiful. I literally want to go back and like live over there. It's just the best thing ever. But we had to come back to reality. But I recommend everyone, if you guys have the option to, always go to the study abroad office and speak to your counselors. See if you're depending on your major, if your units transfer over, where you can study abroad. If you have that option, I 100% recommend it. It was the best thing I've ever done. I also graduated when I came back. I came back December. Then COVID hit in March, so I was lucky enough to come back right before. I had a couple friends that were staying the whole year and they had to come back on emergency due to COVID-19. So my last semester was half online and half in person, but most of my classes were online, so it didn't really affect me. But the way I kind of dealt with stress was going for walks, being with my dog. Dogs really help because they're fun and they're loving and they distract you from all that stress. So that kind of helped me. Also, kind of in my family, it's a huge house. So I would tell them like, hey, this week, do not talk to me, do not bug me. Like, I'm going to be studying, I'm going to be doing this and this, just letting them know, communicating that, hey, I'm going to be stressed this week. Don't stress me out even more at home. So that's another thing I did. I am also a visual learner, so I would do flashcards, Quizlet, take practice tests. That would help me because if you know the answer, if you know the answer before looking at the answer keys, that means you know the subject or you know that what you're studying. So that's something I would do. And then, like Jose said, take advantage of school resources of like psychologists and assistants because they are there for a reason. Certain sessions are free. I personally also got help at my school where, sometimes you just want to talk to someone about or get like a second opinion in a way, and it really helps. So that I did that as well when I was in school. And I liked the private school because it was a smaller size of students. Cal State's UCs, it's thousands of students, so it's like you go into one hall as a freshman and it's like 300 students per class, and it's like they probably don't even know your name, your first letter. So it's like with me, every teacher knew my name. It could be a positive or negative because if you're missing, they'll email you like, where were you? But other than that, I love my experience and I hope you guys do too. And if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask. I don't know if I'm missing anything. If you guys want me to touch base on anything else, go ahead and let me know. Thank you.
I have a quick question for you. How was it attending an all-girls school?
It wasn't that bad. To be honest, I thought it was gonna be like, drama here, drama there, all these girls, but no, it wasn't. A lot of, the girls that I made friends that were my friends and I still talk to now were very helpful, part of my major, or, they were part of nursing when I started. And it's, I don't know, everyone's just there kind of doing their own thing. And it wasn't bad. It was just kind of weird too, just seeing girls everywhere. And there was like no men except for like professors or a couple because the males were accepted into like the nursing program. But other than that, it wasn't that bad. It was pretty cool.
Okay, thank you, Jasmine. So next we're gonna go to, I believe it's Bruno Tovar Soto. So you can quickly just talk about your slide real quick and school and your experience.
Hey guys, can you guys hear me? All right. Hey, my name is Bruno Tovar. I went to a community college right after high school. I did my 3 years over there, and then I just transferred to Clase Long Beach this year. My major is business administration with an emphasis on management and supply chain management. And I'm sorry. And honestly, I feel like the best thing that I've done to get prepared to try to release stress is to always be ready. I feel like I was lucky to go to community college because it kind of eased my way into a university, especially after going to Banning. But I think the best way to, like I said, to release the stress is to kind of understand how you learn. Knowing if you're a visual learner or if you like hearing better, that way you learn how to take your notes. And like Jose and Jasmine said before, not Jasmine, I'm sorry. How they said before, use your school resources because there's so much that they offer.
But that's probably not going to be grandkids, so I'm looking for people I know.
Graham get on there?
I think so. But you.
You're muted.
Hey Bruno, real quick, you're muted. You want to unmute your mic?
My bad. Can you hear me? Have I been muted this whole time?
For like about a couple seconds.
Okay. Yeah, I think the best way to not be stressed is to just be prepared. You have to make sure you study, take some time for yourself as well. What I like to do, for example, every Tuesday, I like to just go to the movies, just take some time for myself, just go to the movies for myself. And that's something that I look forward to every week. So I know to get all my stuff ready so that on Tuesdays, I can just relax, go to the movies or something like that. Also being involved in school is really important because when you're in class, you can get to meet people, but it's kind of difficult because everyone's trying to get in, get out, everyone's busy. But if you get involved in school, if you take some leadership positions, if you join in the clubs, you get to know more people and it makes just the whole college experience a lot easier. And yeah, I'd say that's it. Is there anything else that I should talk about?
Were you part of any clubs or extracurricular activities or anything like that?
Yeah. When I was at El Camino, I was actually doing a lot. I was involved in the honors transfer program. I was part of the student body government over there. And I was in Hispanic club. And I think that was like my highlight of going to community college. I got to know a lot of people. I got to meet a lot of people from all over the place. And, those are friends that I still talk to, friends that transferred with me to Long Beach. And yeah, like I said, they just made the whole college experience a lot easier, especially when you feel like you're alone and you're stressing about assignments. And then when you figure out that your friends are always stressing out about that, your friends are also stressing out about assignments, it makes it a lot easier. And then you guys can, get together and study and stuff like that. I feel like another way also to avoid stress is to not go home whenever you can, stay on campus or go to like a coffee shop or something like that. Because if you go home, you get comfortable, you don't do homework, and then you stress more, and that was especially a challenge during COVID, being at home, everything on your computer, everything is like the due date is like just the last day of class. So it made it really difficult, but yeah, I'm sure that by the time you guys go to college, it'll be all in person. So I think one of my main tips is to just avoid going home if you have anything to do. Try to stay on campus, go to the library, explore what they have to offer. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Bruno. So one of the fun facts that I got from the web are actually about your Shark Tanks on campus. And we have Mrs. Maya here and Mr. Allen here asking about them on the chat. They just want you to talk more about the Shark Tanks and what type of sharks they had in the Shark Tanks.
Actually, this is my first semester back in campus. Because last year was basically all online, so I haven't seen the Shark Tanks yet. And I'm only taking one class on campus right now, and it's hybrid, so I'm only been there like maybe 5 times this whole year. But I'll check that out.
Yeah, for those asking about the Shark Tank, Jose, I don't know if you might know anything, but you do, keeping in mind their majors, they might not have the opportunity to be in the Shark Tank, seeing that, in action. But I don't want to, put words in their mouth. But Jose, would you know anything about the Shark Tank?
No, mine is, no, I have not, I'm sorry. Sorry,
Yeah, so
sorry,
I
guys.
mean, yeah, just to re-emphasize, they are at Long Beach. However, it is their first year. They transitioned in the time of COVID. And, we have one with the major in business and another with the major in political science. So again, maybe the Shark Tank is not something that, they come around. But if you are interested, we can definitely look into that. And I know there's going to be an event coming up soon where it's called Day at the Beach. So it's in collaboration with Long Beach State. And I don't know if it's going to be virtual this year, or if they're going to actually allow us to be on campus. It's coming up in a couple of weeks on a Saturday. So if you are interested in the Shark Tank, maybe learning more about it, that would be a great event for you all to join.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bruno. Does anybody else have any other questions besides the Shark Tanks? No? Okay, then next we're gonna go on to Ms. Yetzel Jimenez. Ms. Yetzel.
Hi, my name is Yetzel. Thanks for having me. Kat invited me, thank you. I went to UCSB. I graduated, I think it's gonna be a year ago. I don't know, time isn't real right now. I majored in political science. UCSB fun fact, the dining common. I did not know that about UCSB. It serves, okay, but the dining commons are really good. Yeah, very good fun fact. But yeah, I'm from Linwood, California. If any of you guys know where that is, like close to Compton and Southgate, like Yesenia. I went to UCSB straight out of high school. So I packed up my stuff and I left, which was awesome. I definitely recommend it if you're able to try to live on a campus, because especially UCSB, it's a very special campus. If you've never visited it, it's literally on a beach. So getting to live close to a beach was definitely the way that I was able to deal with stress in undergrad. Something that I always said with my friends was like, yeah, you're stressed at UC Santa Barbara, but like in a chill way, because if you ever have a breakdown, you can just go to the beach. And honestly, that really helped. But yeah, and being like first generation, coming from like a low income community like Linwood, it's definitely a culture shock going to undergrad. So my tip is to try to find community wherever, whether that be a club, your roommates, your coworkers, either people that look like you or people that have the same interests as you. I look back in undergrad and my friends and the clubs that I was in definitely was what got me through it, because it's completely different from high school, especially living on your own for 4 years. Your life changes. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm currently a teacher and I work at a nonprofit in Compton, and I'm studying to go to law school. So if anybody has any questions about that, I'd love to answer them. But yeah, I think that's all I kind of wanted to say for now.
Yetzel, can you talk a little bit about your studying abroad?
Oh yes, sorry, I did study abroad. I forget. I studied abroad in Barcelona, in Spain, like Yesenia. I was there for 6 months, and I got to study at the local university. So I took classes in Spanish, in my major, which was awesome. Getting to practice my Spanish skills that I speak, with my parents, but also getting to fulfill my major requirements was really cool. But yeah, it was definitely a dope experience. So again, if you're able to, right, not all of us have the privilege of getting able to travel, but if you're able to, I love to tell students to do it. It's definitely a life-changing experience. Not only do you get to travel and meet all these new people, but you get to really grow your perspective on the world, grow your historical knowledge about things. The coolest thing about studying abroad for me was getting to visit places that I had only seen in like textbooks, you know, or like paintings that I would like talk about in English class in high school. Getting to see them in person was really impactful. And you know, it definitely changes your perspective on things. You realize that you're not the center of the world. The world is very, very big, and there's lots of people and lots of places to see. But yeah, studying abroad definitely should do it. It's also a culture shock. And you know, sometimes your family might not be supportive of it. My father was also not supportive of my decision. But once I came back, he understood that it was something that I needed to do for myself, right? Not only to advance like my career goals, but also my personal growth. But yeah, that was studying abroad. Oh, and if finances are an issue, there are a bunch of scholarships. Literally, you can find one anywhere on the internet. I definitely recommend while you're an undergrad, always to speak to professors or to counselors. I know it could be overwhelming, but don't be shy. They're there to help you. Professors are also what got me through it because you're going to need them for letters of rec, whether that be for jobs, graduate school, or scholarships if you want to study abroad. But yeah.
All right, thank you, me itself, for your presentation. I know I read something about UCSB having something called a labyrinth. Do you know exactly what that is?
Yeah, it's not really a labyrinth that you might think like in the movies. But like again, UCSB is literally, it was built on a beach. So like we have like cliffs that look out into the ocean, and there is a labyrinth that was built there, but it's only like little rocks. But it is definitely one of the prettiest spots on campus. Campus Point is also really pretty. Riding your bike to get there is amazing. Riding my bike around campus was the best thing that got me through college. So UCSB is also known for like having a lot of bike routes. So there's also like rush hour times. So instead of LA, you know, it's rush hour and people are stuck in traffic. At UCSB, you're stuck on your bike because there's so many students riding to class, and it can be a little dangerous, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, Yeto, for sharing about your experience at UCSB and also your study abroad experience. We do have a couple questions for each and one of you. So if we may go to the next slide, please. And something that we like to touch on is just stress. Mental health is so important, especially during this time. And a lot of these students are they're underclassmen, so they're gonna get ready to apply to college next year if they're in 11th grade. So just different tips, like how you cope with stress, like during high school, like if you remember that far. I know sometimes I forget. I'm like, I honestly don't remember. But if there was like a moment where like you remember how like what you did or how your mentality was when you were in 10th grade versus how you wish you would have thought. So if anybody wants to just answer, or I can just pick.
I'll answer that. Hey guys, Jose again. I think back in high school, for me to deal with mental stress, it was hanging out with friends and just being with one another, I guess you could say. I was very involved in like at clubs at my school. So I think just being involved and hanging out with, with friends and being with each other's company is the best, because we're all kind of raised in the same community or raised kind of the same. So it's good for us to relate with one another. But my thing is maybe hanging out with friends, or even if you have a best friend, or going out, you know what I mean, having like activities after high school. It was fun for me, just because I'm like, oh, I'm creating memories, and I wasn't thinking about any of my issues or problems even back at home within, my family, parents, or whatnot. But I think a major thing was me just hanging out with friends and just being in each other's company really helped, I think, me at the time with stress as a 10th grader or 11th grader or even a senior.
I can second that. And I also think even asking each other for help, because sometimes, you know, one person might know a little bit more than you and they can assist you in what you may need. And then teachers, they're also very helpful because they've been through the process. You know, maybe it was a long time ago, but it's okay. You know, it can be, they can help you one way or another. And then always go to the College and Career Center as well. That's one of the places that helped me the most.
Thank you. And Bruno, I have a question. Is the major that you're currently taking right now the one that you had in mind since the beginning, or did you have like a moment where you're like stressing, trying to figure out what you wanted to do?
So I was always sure that I wanted to do business administration. I just wasn't sure about what emphasis, because it can break down into accounting, finance, administration, management. Nonetheless, I decided to go with management because I feel like that's what suited me best. And now that I'm here at Long Beach, I was able to pick up an extra emphasis, which is supply chain management. But yeah, I feel like I was always aware that I wanted to do business. So that wasn't very stressful to me. But that was like in my senior year. When I was in high school, I was planning about like doing something with engineers, stuff like that. And then I took like pre-calculus and I was like, no, I'm not doing engineer, that's crazy. But yeah, after, after I went to El Camino, I was sure that I wanted to do business. That was I was lucky for that. For me, that wasn't something that I stressed too much about.
Thank you. And just for the boys, I have a question because you guys are alumni of the Boys and Girls Club, and all these students here are part of the Boys and Girls Club / College Bound. Is there something you would like to like share with them, like any tips? Since I think you guys both joined like maybe your second year in high school. Just like a tip you would like to give them, like should they start caring about this early? Did you guys have like the caring mentality, or did you like wait too long? Yeah.
For myself, I don't think I got involved maybe like my 11th and senior year, but I created a bond with Ingrid, and to this day I feel like I still have a good bond with Ingrid. So I always just, I don't know, I just connected with Ingrid. So I've always, I don't know, I guess creating that, like, I don't know, friendship, I guess you could say, or just a bond, or just like, hey, what's up? You know, attending the workshops also helped me because I didn't know nothing about school. I didn't even know what I wanted to do. Like I was like a chicken with his head chopped off. So I think just being informed and making sure you kind of attempt to attend a workshop and just kind of keep yourself just informed about school. Is this what you really want to do? You know what I mean? Having more of that mindset, but they also help you, you know, create the pathway, because I didn't have anybody like to help me with college or anything at all. None of my family, I'm the first generation student as well. So it's nice to go to somebody and to ask a question and to feel like, okay, I guess it feels secured, I guess. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I would say it's never too early to start thinking about college. You don't have to start writing your essays and stuff like that when you're in sophomore year, but just thinking about it, thinking about what you want to do, what you like to focus on, I think that's very helpful. And yeah, like Jose, I only started started going to the club a lot, like my junior year, my senior year. But yes, shout out Ingrid. She made the whole process a lot easier for me. She really helped me out with understanding college. And like Jose said, being a first generation student, sometimes when you can't talk to your parents about something like school, you can get a little frustrated. But having that support system in the club or at Banyan or just with your friends is very helpful.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And we appreciate you guys joining and giving feedback, it shows like the impact that the club made, that you made time of your day to join us. And then I just want to ask you a question. How did you feel with the pressure of applying to different colleges and still having to balance high school work? So going back to your senior years, you had to apply to all these different colleges. And then I'm sure like your different teachers were giving you homework. Like, do you remember how you balanced it, how you felt, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, it was a really stressful time. I don't remember much of it. But yeah, I guess balancing it at the end of the day is also just finding space with my friends. So going to like Starbucks to do homework together and like motivating each other. or going to Starbucks to apply together, because it's really easy to, fall behind on your apps, or just think, oh, I'm not going to apply to that school because I don't want to. I'm too lazy right now. I'm probably not going to get in, right? It's always good to have people that are going through the same thing as you, to encourage you a little bit, right? Because, most of the times our parents don't know what the college application process is like, and it's not their fault that they don't know about it or that they don't understand it. So being around people that are also going through the same things definitely helped me balance my high school life and applying to colleges. So yeah.
Thank you, Yeto. And then for Yesenia, I have a question. I don't know if you took the PSAT, but do you remember how you prepared yourself for the SAT? Because many students here are going to be taking the PSAT next week or very soon. So any tips or advice you would like to give them?
I think at our school, they had workshops. I want to say I attended one. I'm not going to lie, I wasn't the most proactive in high school for taking the test, but please do it because it is extremely helpful. I know with that one, workshop that I went to, I learned so much in that one, 2-hour workshop compared to me just studying from a book, because reading questions from a book sometimes can get very boring and you can get unmotivated and everything can happen at once. So I feel like always attend the workshops. I recommend that. I know that helped me the one time I did it, and just take it seriously. I know people say, oh, it's just a PSAT, whatever, but no, like take it seriously, be ready, read the questions, try not to take too long on them because I know it is timed, but and then try to not second guess yourself because, you're probably your first instinct is the correct answer. So just go with that and try not to second guess and push through.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I guess just to end this little panel, and then Ingrid's going to take over the last 15 minutes, I believe. If you guys want to share like some final words, some advice for the underclassmen, something you would tell yourself if you could go back to high school. And because I know for sure when I was in high school, I would think about, I would stress over things that weren't really worthy of being stressed. But anything you guys want to share, please feel free to share. Any wise words or I don't know.
Break up with your high school relationship and focus on your classes, because when you're in high school you think that your friends or your relationship is forever. It's not. You're really young and you have a whole life ahead of you. Don't stress out about those little things. So yeah, I think that's really important. That doesn't get said enough. So yeah, I just want to say it.
Yeah, just to touch on that too, it's okay to distance yourself and grow out of people. It happens, but always just stay true to yourself, and that's all I can just really say. Just you better than you, so just be yourself at all times. And people come and go, and that's just life itself. So don't be too hard. I know I went through that a lot. Like, oh my God, I want to keep this friendship, or like she said, this relationship. Girl, let it go. Just let it go. Let it go.
I want to say, ask for help. Don't be scared. My mom would always tell me, and I'm going to say it in Spanish, like, el que no habla, Dios no lo escucha. So always ask for help. Speak to whoever you need to speak to. If it's your friend, if it's your dog, whoever it is, even just letting whatever you have in you out literally will help you so much. So always express yourself, ask for help. And yeah, that's what I want to say. Thank you.
I think the main thing that I would tell myself, to my high school self, is just that it's okay to feel lost or to feel like you don't know what you're doing. Especially if you feel like everyone around you knows what they're doing and you don't know. They don't know either. No one knows what they're doing. They're just pretending like they know, and that's okay. Just focus on yourself and make sure that you're on the right track. You might not always know what that looks like, but eventually you'll know what decisions you have to make and it'll all come together. So don't stress too much. You guys are still young. Just follow through with the Boys and Girls Club and stuff like that. Don't take it too hard on yourself. That's it.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you again, all of you, for being here. Bruno, Jose, I appreciate you guys so much. And, like they mentioned, they were members of, the club here. They were always in my office their senior year. So, like Jose mentioned, we are here to help you. We are here to mentor you. But I think ultimately, once you graduate, if you keep that close relationship, those mentorships can become friendships. And, you know, yeah, thank you all. And with, you know, you guys are welcome to stay. I'm just going to touch up a little bit on the PSAT, but if not, you know, you're welcome to go. I know you're probably busy, but again, thank you so much for taking, you know, time out of your day to come talk to our students. That I'm sure something you said will resonate with you at some point, and they're gonna be like, oh, I remember, you know, I had a guest speaker and they said this, and this is exactly, you know, what they went through. And I think, you know, as we grow, we always remember like, oh, I remember that one person that gave me this piece of advice, and it always sticks with you. But again, thank you so much. If you want to have any last minute words, and then I'm going to go in talking into the PSAT. So if you guys want to stick around, you're more than welcome to, but it might, you know, you're probably like, I'm done with all these tests. But thank you again.
Hate to see me leave, guys, but I gotta go.
Thank you for having us.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, thank you. Alrighty, for my underclassmen, don't leave just yet. We have, I'll try to not take too much of your time. I might go a little past 6, but I won't be too late. With PSAT, really quick, who in the chat can tell me when you're taking the PSAT? Someone, anyone? The 13th next week, not sure. Wednesday next week, I think, the 13th. Okay, so yes, all of you will be taking the PSAT next week on October 13th. So you'll have a, you know, an opportunity to see what the PSAT test is gonna be, what it's gonna look like. So when you eventually take the SAT, you're a little more prepared. So I'm just gonna share really quick some information that I want you all to have. So the PSAT is offered through the College Board. If you have not created a College Board account, set up an appointment with your case manager. Let's create your College Board account. And when you take the PSAT, it's going to ask you for an email. Make sure that if you create the account beforehand, that you, on your answer sheet, you provide the email that you created your account with. Now, if you take the test first and then create the account later, just remember what test you provided so that way you could create an account. Why is that important? Is because if you create that account with that email, it'll all be connected. You'll be able to get your test scores. You know, they'll give you physical test scores or once the test scores are ready, but you'll also have, you know, through College Board, you can log on and see your PSAT scores. So, you know, you come on here, you'll see all this. You could click on PSAT and it will take you here, which if you want to practice, if you, I know it's only a week away, but hey, a week of practice is better than no practice at all. If you want to start practicing, I strongly recommend for you to create your account today. Stay after workshop if you're on site and, you know, let's set that up. And if you're at home, maybe, you know, reach out, set up an appointment so we can help you. You can start practicing. They have a correlation with, or they have a partnership, sorry, with Khan Academy, which kind of helps you prepare for the test. Once you take the PSAT and you get your scores, you have the option to link your College Board account and your Khan Academy account, in which it'll personalize your test prep. So based on how you score, if you score really high in math, but maybe not so well in English, then your test prep will be focused into gearing, you know, it'll be geared towards you being able to prepare and improve on that English section, or vice versa. You did really good in English, but maybe math wasn't the greatest. It'll personalize it to you. If you did really good in like algebraic equations, but not so much on like the statistical part, it'll give you more questions on statistics so that you could practice and improve those skills there. So it tells you like before you start, what do you need? Practice test tips. You can actually download tests here, like practice tests. So if you have access to a printer, if you're at the club, I know we will definitely allow you to print if it's going to be for practice purposes. But if you want to do it virtually, you can do it through Khan Academy. Sorry, you could create an account and go from there. You also have, I know they have Khan Academy like on your phone, and you could set it up to like remind you every day at a specific time. So like every day at 6 p.m., you know, practice for the PSAT, and or in the mornings, they'll give you a PSAT question of the day to just kind of get that going. So there's a lot of resources there. Now, why is it so important to try our best? I know a lot of you, maybe my juniors might have taken the PSAT back in 9th grade. I'm not so sure. Someone mentioned time is kind of non-existent since COVID, but maybe you might have. My 9th and 10th graders, you've never seen this, so this is gonna be brand new. But why should you try your best? The PSAT is aimed to test your college readiness, so your college and career readiness. Your test scores will also help to determine your AP potential. So if you're a 9th and 10th grader and you're like, will I do well in an AP class? If you score well enough, like depending on how you do on your PSAT, it will tell you like, you know what, you're definitely ready for AP classes. You should be taking AP classes. Now, if you don't do so well and you still want to take AP classes, don't let that deter you. Again, try your best, but if you don't score as well as you might want to, it's okay, because remember, we've been out of a actual school setting for so long that, and some of you, this is the first time you've ever seen it. And if you're in 9th and 10th grade, you'll have more opportunities to see the test at a later time. If you're a junior, try to do your best, because this will prepare you for the actual test. However, if you don't do well, guess what? We have tutors that can help you prepare for these tests. If maybe you're more of a hands-on, I want someone to teach me, be right next to me or right in front of me, telling me how to prepare, you could definitely reach out to our tutors. Our tutors will be more than happy to help you with those. We have, every club site should have like practice tests as well. And they'll walk you through it. You have a week, I think, it's not a lot of time, but it's enough time to at least get some taste of what the PSAT is gonna look like. So really quick, what does the PSAT consist of? So your total score will be at a 1520. The actual SAT is at a 1600. But it kind of reflects. So usually they say whatever you score on your PSAT, it'll be very similar. Your first SAT score will be very similar. So there are two sections. There's the evidence-based reading and writing and math. And they will, there's a lot of sub-scores and all that crazy stuff that just know that it's math and English. So just make sure you're trying your best. There's a section on there that you'll be able to use your calculator. I don't know if at your school they've told you, but if you have a calculator, make sure you take it with you. You will be able to use it during the test. If you don't have one, reach out to a case manager. We have some here at the club that we could loan out to you, so you're prepared and you're not, you don't have to use a calculator. There is a section with calculator. You don't have to use it, but it'll definitely help you. So the student score reports, let's look at that. This is what a score report will look like. Just really quick, so you guys, this is what you'll get at school. This is what you'll have access to electronically when you create an account. It'll have your information, your school name, your grade, your score, and then it'll tell you here what the benchmark is. So the benchmark is if you meet this minimum score, you're ready, you're technically ready for college level math and or English. It'll give you like all of this. Now, if you're a junior, you're also being considered for the National Merit Scholarship, the NMSQT, NMSQ something. And it'll tell you your eligibility index, what the index mean. And this, why is this important? Because again, course recommendations, your scores show that you're ready to succeed in AP courses. Talk to your counselor about signing up. Scholarship opportunities. So this NMSQT, or P, sorry, it could give you access to so many scholarships based on how you score. Also, the College Board Opportunity Scholarships, which I will touch upon briefly. It's like you meet certain milestones and you get put into a drawing for a scholarship. It's as simple as that. One of them is as easy as create your college list on College Board. You get put into a raffle. Practice on Khan Academy and improve your test scores, you get put into another raffle. Complete your financial aid application your senior year, you get put into another raffle. And you could earn up to $40,000 by doing simple things that usually we ask you to do with the College Bound program. And again, you have free Khan Academy SAT prep. And don't forget to register for the SAT when the time comes. Again, right now, our current seniors are not required to take the SAT. For my 9th, 10th, and 11th. We don't know what the requirements are going to be just yet for when, it's your time to apply to college. But if they decide to bring back the SATs, you want to be prepared and not kind of, go blindly in there. So it'll give you, here it'll give you like the questions, the correct answer, what your answer is, and the level of difficulty. So you'll have access to all of this. I know some schools might give you your actual booklet back. So if you can go back and see like, okay, I got this question wrong. I put B, but the answer was A. Let's see where I went wrong. That could also help you to help improve your test scores when you take the actual SAT. Now let's understanding scores. Let's see. There was a small video I did want to show. So when you do get your test scores, you understand what it means. And let me see. Let me make sure that my audio is being shared. Share sound. Okay.
On taking the PSAT and MSQT. Now it's time to see your scores, which you can get on your phone or a computer. The first thing you'll see is your total score, which is a combination of your scores on the evidence-based reading and writing and math sections. These scores give you an idea of how you'll do on the SAT and how ready you are for college. Your test scores, cross-test scores, and sub-scores give you even more details about how you did in
Okay, so I don't know if you heard the entire thing because I know Kat was telling me you couldn't hear it, but if not, again, let us know. We'll provide you with this video so that you can get the whole concept of what they were talking about, which is pretty much what I covered. Let me escape here. How do I exit? There you go. Okay, and then on the actual website, you can take the time to kind of see how they calculate scores and all that good stuff. Meet with your case manager if you completely don't know. We'll do this with you. But just lastly, who sees your scores? So your school will see your scores, the district, so LAUSD, and sometimes the state. Also, on not so much on these here, but sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So for my juniors, the National Merit Scholarship Corporation, your scores get sent to them as well. And then that again is if you're eligible for any scholarship opportunities, and other programs might be able to see your scores as well, like the National Hispanic Recognition Program, the National Scholarship Service, Telluride, Seminar Scholarships. And again, this is just if you score high enough, you're at that level where they're like, wow, this student is impressive. Let's provide them with more resources for scholarships. And just remember, colleges don't receive the scores. They do not send them to the, College Board doesn't send them to the college. Those scores are not intended to be part of college admission. decisions, and it should not be included in a student's transcript. And the Student Search Services does not share your scores. If you take the PSAT or the NMSQT, students can opt into the Student Search Services, so you'll have that option in your answer sheet. And you'll hear from, if you decide to opt in, you'll hear from colleges and organizations looking for students like you. These include scholarship partners such as American Indian Graduate Center, Asian and Pacific Islander American Scholarship Fund, Hispanic Scholarship Fund, the Jack Kent Cooke Foundation, and the United Negro College Fund. So again, I would say opt in because, you know, they won't hold it against you if you don't score high enough. But if you score high enough, you don't want to limit yourself and not be considered for scholarship opportunities, or, you know, have these programs look at you. Now, if anyone has any questions, we are here, but thank you all for sticking with us. I promise to make this as, you know, as quick as possible, just to kind of prepare you for what's to come next week. If anyone has any questions, we'll stick around for a couple of minutes. If not, again, thank you so much. Take advantage of your tutors, study for that test, do that Khan Academy, whatever it takes, and just try your best. Remember to get a good night's rest the night before. Have breakfast in the morning. You are going to be testing for a couple hours, so definitely, you know, go prepared. Don't stay up till like 2 in the morning and then think you're going to be nice and refreshed in the morning, because that definitely won't happen, especially after like 2-3 hours of testing. Kat, Caesar, anything else you want to add before we dismiss them?
I just want to say thank you for sticking around, and also just encourage like freshmen or sophomores to take the PSAT very serious, just because I've seen that as you take it like 10th, like say 9th grade, and then you take it 10th grade, like your score tends to improve more and more, and then it prepares you for the SAT. I know for sure I wasn't encouraged to take the PSAT when I was in high school, and that like showed in my SAT score. And it honestly makes you look more competitive. You know, the colleges see that you are taking an extra step, that you are going out of your way to take this test. So yeah, and Caesar.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, yeah, I also took the PSAT, and I just, it was very good because it really prepared me for the SAT. But not only that, but it gauges what you're at according to your writing and math levels. So for example, it gives you, for the PSAT, it kind of gives you questions which will probably come out on your SAT. I did go on a high level math. So I remember my PSAT was like mostly like algebra 1 geometry questions. So I would definitely say to brush up more on your algebra 1 geometry for if you are on a high level math class, because I remember I did struggle with algebra 1 geometry just because I didn't really remember as much. But yeah, just to brush up on your math a little bit, and yeah, just prepare yourself. I would say it's really good to take the PSAT just to gauge where you're at, and yeah, it's very helpful for the SAT. But other than that, I think anybody else have anything else to say? Any questions, concerns? Again, thank you for all our guest speakers that we had. Next week, we'll dive more into that. But yeah, if you guys have no more questions, then that's it. Hope you guys have a good week. Happy Wednesday, and see you guys next week. Thank you.
All right, thank you all.